So finally, you've got that itch to get into the Apple ecosystem and you just don't know where to start. Like, should you buy the most expensive iPhone or should you buy the most expensive MacBook? Well, in this video, I'm going to be talking about the cheapest Apple ecosystem that you can buy in 2023. Well, without wasting any more time, let's get into it. Hello everyone, my name is Fazan and welcome back to another video. If you are new to the channel, then hi again. I make videos on tech, productivity and sometimes education. It's all a mix of those things. For any ecosystem, I think these days there are only three things that anyone needs. That is the smartphone, there is the laptop, and there are the pair of headphones. Well, let's start with the smartphone. The cheapest one that you can get directly from Apple is the iPhone SE, but it isn't the one that I would recommend anyone to buy for mainly two reasons. It has first the outdated design and it doesn't have a really good battery. So if you want to do something like gaming on that phone, you won't be able to do that for a longer period of time because then the battery would really drain up quickly, which in the end, after longer usage, after a year or two, you would see much more degradation in your battery, which will eventually, it will start to show its age. It will start to degrade quickly, and after it has reached 90% battery health or even less, you won't be able to use your phone as long as you would when the battery was really new and the phone was really new. So battery is one of the only concerns that I usually have when buying a phone in general. And with the SE, it has a small battery. It is still powerful. It has a good chip. Again, that chip needs good battery to run, and SE doesn't have that. But the phones that I recommend today are the iPhone 12 and the iPhone 13. Why the two? Okay, so in America, the price difference between the 12 and 13 is not that big, and I would recommend going for an iPhone 13 then if the price difference isn't that large. But for the rest of the world, the price difference is quite large in some countries, so it isn't a good idea to be spending much more on an iPhone 13 when you can get an almost similar experience in an iPhone 12. Yes, you will be cutting some corners, but still, it's still a great device in 2023. I have a full review up here, somewhere here, about the iPhone 12 in 2023. You can go ahead and check that out, but I would recommend these two, the iPhone 12 and the 13, if you want to buy an iPhone in 2023. Well, next up, a laptop. This is a no-brainer. I would still recommend everyone to get a MacBook M1 Air if you're on a budget, because you can save yourself a lot of money and you would still get a really good performance from that laptop. I've been using that laptop for almost a month. If you're following this channel, I recently bought an Macbook M1 and it has been really great throughout. I've been editing videos on it. I've been multitasking pretty well. I've got the base model 8GB version and 256GB SSD one. And to be honest, it has been a really great experience on this machine. So if you even get the base model, you would still be fine. You would still have a good experience. But if you can spend more, and if the 16GB version is available for the M1 MacBook, then get that, because you need that extra RAM for multitasking. Because if you open up 3 to 4 applications, then the RAM starts to get filled up quite quickly and you start using swap memory. If you don't know what swap memory is, basically also known as virtual memory, and it is a thing used by all computers since the start of computers, and you don't have enough RAM to hold your application, then the operating system starts to use your storage as a temporary RAM. Eventually, for other laptops that have hard disks and don't have good enough SSDs, the application will start to get slower. But for MacBooks, because everything is built in right next to the chip, everything is really blazing fast. So you don't really have to worry about the software getting slow. Usually I'm always using like 2.5 GB of swap memory almost when I'm using DaVinci, and also opening 4 to 5 tabs on Chrome, and also have Spotify playing in the background. So it isn't a problem, but to future-proof your laptop, just get the 16GB version if you can. Just remember, you don't need to get 512GB version with that. You can stay at the base storage spec, but you can get much better external SSD to do some mass storage and store all of the photos, files on that and travel with that, rather than spending quite a lot on just 256 GB of storage. So the base 256 GB storage is better than 512 GB storage, but keeping in mind more RAM is better. So getting a 16 GB RAM is much more important than getting more storage. But before moving forward, let's talk about Coursera. So Coursera is a really good platform to do any type of certifications. They have courses from Google, they have courses from IBM, and they have courses on many different topics and many different fields that you can do to kickstart your career in any of the field and probably add more to your knowledge base and your skill set. And currently I'm doing Google's UX design course, which is really good and I really liked it, and it's really knowledgeable, adding to my skill set. So I have some of my really favorite courses down in the description below, and you can go ahead in the description, follow the link and check those courses out and do them if you really like them. And you can add more to your skill set and knowledge base by doing some certifications on Coursera. But now the next thing, headphones. Which one should you get? I would just recommend you getting the AirPods Pro 2, the new ones. Don't get the old ones, don't get the normal AirPods. Get the AirPods Pro 2 because they're good for their performance and they have much better battery now. They now also have a really good chip inside them, and they have really improved the algorithm and they have improved quite a lot of things with the new AirPods Pro. But yeah, the AirPods Pro 2, really good if you really want to get them. But again, it's an optional thing. You can just get any other wireless earphones and you would still be really good and you would still be fine. You won't have any issues because there are only two main things that I consider to be really important for the Apple ecosystem. That is the iPhone and the MacBook. That's it. Everything else is just a luxury to have. Well, that was all for the list. I know I haven't talked about the Apple Watch, I haven't talked about the iPad. Again, as I said, all of the other things, sometimes headphones are good, you really need them, you need to go out and you want to take calls, it's good, but you can save money by getting a cheaper one and will still get the job done. But as for an Apple Watch and iPad, I consider an iPad to be an extended version of an iPhone. It's just an iPhone with a bigger screen, and for most of the people it's just a media consumption device and you can literally use your laptop for that. You can although use it as a really good note-taking pad. It's really good to take notes on. You can use the Apple Pencil, you can get the 9th gen iPad, which is still really good and it would still be great in 2023, and you can use the older Apple Pencil with it, which would still work great, and you can start taking notes using Notion or anything. But other than that, there's not much use of it. It's mostly, again, a media consumption device, and you can use literally a phone or your laptop to do the same task. Apple Watch, I think, is a real luxury to have. They're expensive in most of the countries, and I think if you just want to see time, just get a normal watch for 50 bucks and thank me later. But just summing up the total, I think you would be almost spending around $1,700 to $1,900. Again, you're getting three things in that. You're getting the headphones, you're getting a phone, you're getting a MacBook. So I think that is a really good deal. Again, it's not the cheapest thing out there. You can just ditch the headphones and get cheaper ones and you can save $250 there. But if you really go into that M2 Pros or even get the older M1 Pro, which I think is a good deal, but still it would cost you $1,500 or $2,000 for the newer ones and would still be really expensive to get the phone as well, get the headphones as well, because in the end you would end up paying almost $3,000 for all of the things. So in comparison to that, you're right under $2,000 and you've gotten three things, that is phone, laptop and a pair of earphones. So I think it's a pretty good deal. So what do you think about my list? Comment down below, and if you have your own list, comment that below as well. Well, if you liked the video and found it helpful, just give it a thumbs up, and if you loved it, then consider subscribing. It's free. And I'll see you guys in the next one.